Wait, do you remember The Marine? You know, the movie equivalent of getting drop-kicked through a window while your crush watches? In the golden age of cinema, we were graced with action films that redefined the genre. Die Hard, Terminator 2, Mad Max, Fury Road, and then there's The Marine. A movie that feels like Michael Bay got his hands on a John Cena action figure and started smashing it into a pile of fireworks while shouting "America" at the top of his lungs. If you've ever watched Rambo and thought, yeah, but what if Rambo was built like a fucking refrigerator, had zero internal organs, and was physically incapable of dying? Then congratulations, this movie was made specifically for you. So, we open with John Triton, because of course his name is John, played by John Cena, who is doing exactly what you'd expect John Cena to do in a military setting. Bulldozing through terrorists like a sentient wrecking ball, and ignoring minor inconveniences like bullets and the Geneva Convention. Now, logically, when a man like this exists, the military would either A. Send him on every mission forever because he is quite literally unstoppable, or B. Strap him to a rocket and fire him at the nearest enemy nation and watch the top right of the screen to see the kills start rolling in. But no, the military decides that John is too good at his job, so they politely ask him to leave like he just got caught stealing office supplies from the Pentagon. This is never explained, but neither is how John Cena can walk through an exploding building without losing a single eyebrow. That isn't a joke. It happens. Anyway, he goes home to his wife, Kate, played by Kelly Carlson, whose entire job in this movie is to be kidnapped and occasionally scream, and they decide to go on a romantic road trip because nothing screams relaxation like a man who just got fired from the military for being too violent. Of course, this lasts all of 5 minutes before a gang of cartoonishly evil criminals, led by Robert Patrick, who is basically playing a midlife crisis version of his T-1000 character from Terminator 2. Kidnap Kate, leave John for dead, and spend the rest of the movie deeply regretting this decision like me when I tried sports betting for the first time. I don't know what I'm doing, and I definitely lost that $100. Why this movie is a beautiful dumpster fire. 1. WWE's first attempt at Hollywood was a financial fever dream. So let's talk WWE Studios, a company that decided in 2006 that the natural evolution of professional wrestling was feature-length films where their employees blow up half of Australia. And speaking of Australia, this movie was supposed to be filmed in Los Angeles until someone at WWE realized, wait, explosions are expensive. What if we just set off bombs in the Australian outback where no one can stop us? And that's exactly what they did. The entire movie was filmed in Australia, which is why half the extras sound like they're struggling to hide a Queensland accent while pretending to be rednecks. It's adorable. Also, fun fact, this movie was originally written for Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he and WWE parted ways in 2004, so they slotted in John Cena, who at the time was primarily known for his ability to rap, wear jorts, and win every match in WWE history. As far as we know, 19 years later, he still does some of those things. 2. John Cena's character is functionally immortal. John Triton is not a human being. He is a walking, talking, muscle-clad fever dream of American military propaganda. There's nothing in this movie that can physically harm him. He might take a shit standing up just to see what happens. He gets shot at point-blank range, doesn't flinch. He jumps through a second-story window, lands perfectly, doesn't roll an ankle. He gets blown up multiple times, not a single burn mark. He walks out of a lake after surviving an explosion that should have killed him instantly. Completely dry. I'm pretty sure The Marine was supposed to be a gritty action thriller, but somewhere along the way, it accidentally became a superhero origin story. 3. Robert Patrick is the only one who knows what kind of movie he's in. Remember how I said Robert Patrick is basically playing a washed-up T-1000? Yeah, he understood the assignment. His character, Rome, is supposed to be a serious villain, but Patrick plays him like a man who has fully accepted that he's in a WWE-funded explosion simulator and decides to just have fun with it. He carries the movie easily. His gang of criminals also deserve a mention because they don't behave like actual criminals. They behave like a group of people who lost a bet and now have to rob banks as a punishment. One of them spends half the movie complaining about his ex-girlfriend. Another literally starts killing people just for fun and no one seems to care. And then there's the explosives guy, whose entire personality is just things should explode more often. I might need help because I kind of agree with him. 4. The laws of physics cease to exist. You know how most action movies at least pretend to obey some level of physics? The Marine treats physics the same way Cena treated selling wrestling moves. with complete and utter disrespect. At one point, Cena's thrown through a concrete wall and walks it off like he stubbed his toe. You know, a minor inconvenience. He jumps out of a moving car, lands on his feet, and keeps running. The explosions in this movie are so over the top that local Australian authorities thought an actual disaster was happening. WWE had to assure them it was just their movie and not an act of war. The legacy of the Marine. Despite all of this, or maybe because of all of this, The Marine is one of the most unintentionally entertaining action movies of the 2000s. It didn't turn John Cena into an instant Hollywood megastar, but it proved that he had enough charisma to be a key piece in an action film, even if the script was written by a caffeinated teenager who just finished watching Commando. And somehow, against all odds, this movie spawned 5 sequels, 5 separate movies, but without Cena. Instead, WWE just started throwing in random wrestlers like The Miz and hoping audiences wouldn't notice. Spoiler, they noticed. I think all of them went straight to DVD, and we don't even have those anymore. Should you watch it? Look, The Marine is not a good movie. It is, however, a deeply entertaining, logic-defying, explosion-filled masterpiece of stupidity in the best way. If you love action movies that don't give a single solitary damn about reality, then you owe it to yourself to watch The Marine. Just don't ask questions like, why doesn't John Cena take any damage? Or, why does everything explode at the slightest touch? Because the movie doesn't have to answer you? That'd be weird if it did. Until next time, stay safe, avoid Robert Patrick, and if you ever get kidnapped by cartoon criminals, just remember, John Cena will find you, and nothing on earth bound by breath and bone and glee, together close, though none are free. A single soul drifts out to sea, but many hearts remain as we. You know there's more to this, right?
I'm still hungry.